All right. There he is. Locked and loaded and ready to go. How you feeling, my man? You feeling good?
I'm feeling all right. Pretty tired, and I'm about to be flying a red eye. I think that same red eye that Perk is on. I'm going to be hitting that too. So hopefully, I'm able to get some Z's on that flight back.
Yeah. Well, you should be able to sleep a little bit on the flight unless it gets crazy on the way back, and hopefully not. Hopefully, it's a nice, safe flight.
No screaming children, please.
Yes. Yes. I did have the. Is there a doctor on board?
Oh yeah.
We had that. It was towards the front of the plane, but apparently they resolved it and they kept it under control. And by the way, first time ever flying Alaska Airlines, freaking awesome, dude. Awesome experience, dude. They handled that crisis professionally. We took off on time. We landed on time. My luggage was there at the carousel when I got there. Like that hadn't happened to me in years, dude. Like Alaska Airlines does it right, bro. If I ever have to fly out west, I'm definitely going to use. I don't know what you used, but I know he came in Delta. I know you're going back in Alaska with me, but yeah, it's man, that was good. That was good.
Yeah.
Did you have any good food?
Yeah, good chowder out here. It's good seafood. Myself, Perk, and Joe Shad, we had dinner across the water, Elliott Bay. I saw on a map is what it was, where we had a good sight line of the skyline of Seattle downtown area. That's where we were staying. But Joe rented a car and we drove around to the side. Also got a nice beach sunset view after dinner. So yeah, I mean this is a beautiful city. First time here for me.
Right?
Yeah, good food. So, aside from this game, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the game sucked, but everything else was a phenomenal weekend, dude. I saw 2 concerts, and then went all the touristy things. I went to see Bruce and Brandon Lee and Jimi Hendrix and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, you did all that. Yeah,
yeah, that was cool, man. And going down to the marketplace where they throw the fish and all that.
We saw that. Yep.
Yeah, that was cool. That was cool.
Yeah. The Space Needle. I even did the Space Needle. I wasn't sure I would actually do it. It was more of a touristy thing. I stood in a line, but I said, I've never been here. When's the next time I'm going to be here? Screw it. Let me just go ahead and take the shot. And it was cool.
Very cool. Very cool. So let me ask you, what are your thoughts that a coach is constantly playing the risk game when he doesn't really know how to play it, or his players aren't good enough for it? And whether you're taking a risk with what's it called, Durham Smythe in the corner of the end zone, or Robbie Chosen last week, or DeBose, or whatever, or going for the 56-yarder at the beginning of the game when maybe you should run the ball. There's just the style of coaching of Mike McDaniel. It's very loose, and he takes a lot of chances, and he burns his team a lot with those chances. So your thoughts on the risky way he coaches?
Risky way. Yeah. Interesting. Well, I mean, I'll start from the beginning. That 4th and 1, I felt, and this is what he usually does, which would be to go for it in these 4th down scenarios. He's more liberal toward going for it. I mean, first game that he ever coached as a head coach, we saw him take a chance around midfield, a little bit on the plus side on 4th and 7, and throw that before the half touchdown to Jalen Waddle. Remember against the Patriots week 1, 2022? That worked out really well there. So I was kind of stunned that 4th and 1 in that spot on the field where it's a 57-yarder, maybe if it's just like 50, maybe if you're just like 5 yards up or something, or, definitely if it's a 40-something yarder, you could just kick it and take the points. But I was a little surprised from 57, that distance. And I asked him post game, and he said he liked the way Jason Sanders has been striking the ball. I guess he watched him pregame to make that determination, and just feeling that points would be at a premium, that his defense would play a solid game. And they did give up 2 touchdowns in that first quarter, but at that point it was a 3-0 game. And sure, the defense.
You mean the same guy that loves Skylar Thompson to death, and that Skylar has earned this, and he's ready for this? That same guy? That same guy? Oh, okay.
Right. I mean, yeah, I guess going off how the defense did show up that 2nd and 3rd quarter, keep it tight. But yeah, I mean, I guess the true feeling of where he felt the offense would be with Skylar Thompson was that they needed to keep the score low to have a chance. And that feeling that those 3 points would be huge. But man, I just felt like from that spot, 57 yards, I mean, even 4th and 1, then you could still get yourself closer. You keep a drive going, keep a touchdown alive. It's a scripted first drive. You should at least be better offensively, more efficient on that initial drive. So I felt they could have just kept that going if they could get a 4th and 1. They got stuffed on 3rd and 1. It's, if you can't pick up a 1 yard on 2 shots at it, then what are we doing here? So I felt he should have gone for that one.
I get a text here. It says Julian Hill sucks. I don't think Julian Hill sucks. I think Julian Hill is coached badly, because that's why you're constantly making mistakes. And when you have all those penalties, it isn't only Julian Hill committing penalties. Penalties are happening all over the place. And I blame the coach for that. I blame whoever your head coach is. If your team is committing a ton of penalties, that's on your head coach for not creating a discipline-like atmosphere. And again, going and talking about his style of coaching and risky, this is another irresponsible way of things that he does. He doesn't really coach players. They're not a disciplined team, dude.
Yeah. I mean, the penalties reared their ugly head in this one. And actually, I was actually shocked when I looked down and saw that the Seahawks had as many penalties, 11 as well. It didn't feel that way. It felt like the Dolphins' penalties were just huge every time. And maybe that's just from the perspective of watching Dolphins' perspective as opposed to, thinking of both teams as you watch the game. But ugly game. Julian Hill had a lot of those, a lot of pre-snap penalties, a lot on special teams as well. So that's going to be something we have to drill Danny Crossman on this week. And also, it is a tough place to play too. I'm not going to rid the Dolphins coaches or any players of blame for the penalties going in, but I think it really just showed the road environment, and really also a testament to how the Dolphins were unprepared for this kind of hostile environment.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's just they looked like they were completely unprepared. Look, I gave up on him last week. I don't think he's the guy. I just, I don't know where you're at with him. To me, it's Cam Cameron part 2. Today, I just watched Tannehill Thompson at quarterback. He poor kid. He doesn't even have any. He has no pocket presence. He can't feel anything whatsoever, and he showed it many times over that he wasn't prepared. And again, I gotta blame Mike McDaniel. He puts Chosen and the other kid last week, and now you got putting what's it called, the tight end in a position that he's not a pass catcher, and why would you do that? And things that he does, what he did with the fullback too, and today was like just an extension of all of this. Where convince any of us that Mike McDaniel is the right head coach here?
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. That's a big. I don't want to say a big ask, but it's a deep question.
Come on, tough guy.
Because you're right. He still hasn't shown that he could win big games against winning teams, win on the road in tough environments. This was another example. I mean, even the Seahawks, they're a winning team, but 2-0 and tight games against like the Patriots and beating the Broncos. So you would think, okay, it's not like these other winning teams, but it is a hostile environment. And there are a lot of preparation things that need to improve. Just from a coaching standpoint, a preparation standpoint.
When, bro? When?
I know, and it's year 3
already. I mean, that should have already been done already. You should be sharp as a tack right now, right?
Yeah, these are some things that are just inexcusable in year 3 that you could understand when it's the first season, and year 2, then. Well, you see so many good things when they don't play strong opponents that you could still say, all right, that's just they need to just get over the hump against the stronger competition. But I know there's a lot of factors going into this one with the backup quarterback, and then going into your third, and a lot of other injuries and the hostile environment. But here's what I will say. You shouldn't make grand determinations off of a game where this many things were against you. In terms of, I never had the Dolphins winning this game myself.
Yeah.
So it went to an extent sort of how I expected it would in this environment with Skylar Thompson playing. And now, I mean, I still feel like you have a Tyreek Hill in this offense. You have a Jalen Waddle, Devon Achane. You have to be able to find ways to get all these guys. These are the guys that you want in a Mike McDaniel coach offense. They're perfect for what he's running. And Skylar Thompson, albeit a backup quarterback and a 7th-round draft pick, he was handpicked by this coaching staff, which has now been together for 3 years. So by that, and if everything is true as far as how much he has improved since he was thrown into the fire his first year as a pro, then why wouldn't he be better equipped to handle this scenario?
Yeah, well, that's my problem right now. That when I look at it, I don't know if I see a guy that's equipped to handle, this scenario right now. That's the sad part of it, man. And then they're not going to make any changes because they can't.
Right.
Because and I've said it many times. As much as I like the front office, and I actually think this team is not that bad. I think it's just
of course.
I think the coaching is freaking horrible. Okay, I don't have enough of an opinion on Weaver yet to say anything. And today, his side did enough. They had 17 points into the fourth quarter, bro. If you can't score and you're there inside the red zone inside the 10 twice, and you can't score and you miss field goals and all that stuff, I can't help you on that side. So to me, that's my major problem right now. With this team. I just don't know where you go from here because I don't think you have the guy that can get this thing over the hump at all, to be quite honest.
Yeah. And when we have these discussions, it's not like we're going to a place of how much longer before he's on the hot seat. It's clear he's not, because he was just extended before this season. And yes, there's the fair share of adversity early this season. Wild weeks 1 and 2, wild week because they were within 5 days of each other. Tyreek Hill detained, and then Tua has another concussion. And it is a lot getting thrown at you before you go into that first road game and a tough environment with so many things going on. But I think Zach Sealer did say it best when he said we're 1 and 2. It's only week 3, and there's still the rest of the season ahead of us. So we've seen teams come back from a lot worse.
Really?
Really?
What? Show, please. No. I gotta put you on the spot now.
All right. What?
Show me a bad coach that started badly and they turned it around. Show me one. What example was that one? I'd love.
Well, the same one that Zach Sealer brought up was 2021. The Dolphins started 1-7 and reeled off 7 in a row. Ended up with a winning record. They weren't eliminated until that Week 17 loss to the Titans.
Oh, you mean Zach Sealer left out that they lost all 7 games against the good teams, and then they won against the shitty teams?
They even lost.
Remember, we had this conversation.
Yeah. Do you want better, though?
The magic number is 7 every year. You play 7 playoff games. How do you perform against them? And Zach Sealer, just remind him that you're either 1-6 or 2-5 against good teams constantly. So it doesn't matter if you win 6-7 games down the stretch against shitty teams. By the way, while you were winning those games, I said Flo was going to get fired.
Mm-hmm.
So,
you were on it.
Yes. So, give me a break. You were winning the shitty games. Yeah. That's why I made that video of stuck in the middle because that's been the Dolphins. They beat the shitty teams, but they can't beat the good teams. They've been stuck in the middle for years. You think about it, shitty coaches don't turn teams around and make the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't really happen much.
Yeah, even in that scenario, the Dolphins did not make the playoffs. They needed everything just to stay alive into the penultimate week and then still miss the playoffs the first time they lost again. Also, I'll do you one better that year. Yeah, they lost to the good teams, but they also lost to 2 shitty teams, the Jaguars in London and the home game against the Falcons when they came back without the post-London bye. So there were 2 more that just added on. You just need. How
about that? Stanky Fingers makes another appearance on the segment. There we go. Because Stanky Fingers came up in the last segment with Perk. Stanky Fingers is the head coach of the Jags, former coach of
Oh, yeah.
Now you know why we call him Stanky Fingers.
Oh, I see why. I do see why now. Yes.
Yes.
Stanky fingers.
So let me say, I put you in a position now. You're the owner. What do you do right now? What do you do right now? If you're the owner, do you just stand status quo? Do you demand something? Do you how do you crack the whip? What changes do you have to make? Because I get this from some of my friends, and let's go get Russell Wilson. I laugh at that because there isn't a quarterback that's going to save your ass right now. There's nobody that is available. Or if you have to trade for somebody and give up, draft capital, you're getting shit back in return that isn't really going to save your season. And you're saving it for what? To win 6 or 7 games and put yourself again and ruin your draft position. So how do you save this?
Big O, I get those same questions from friends of mine, people that run into me, and with like these out there scenarios, like what can they change? And I'm like, no, like don't expect wholesale changes.
Oh, I know that.
The Dolphins are committed to what they have. This core, they extended just about everyone that they can to make this core the one that they're committed to going forward. So from Mike McDaniel just got his extension. Tua Tagovailoa just got his extension, assuming his health, and then he comes back from this concussion and so on and so forth. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Jalen Ramsey, all extended. Well, Tyreek Hill was just added on to with the guaranteed money, so he made his current contract just more rock solid as far as that he will be with the team for the duration of that contract. But Bradley Chubb has a contract down the road, and it's Zach Sealer. So you have your core, and that's a lot of salary cap tied into it. It's Mike McDaniel tied into it, and Steve Ross. He's not the one. I mean, maybe he'll if it gets to a certain point, he could pound on the table and say, "Hey guys, I demand better from you." But that's about the extent of what I believe he would bring forward. It's not like he's in a position to make some huge changes because the Dolphins are committed to this group for the years to come. And maybe if it doesn't work out, if it's very clear after this season, after another, and maybe the next, then maybe it's a Chris Greer question, which he is pretty safe right now. I mean, I do like the roster on paper when I look at it. And then it's the Mike McDaniel question, but it's not for this year, and it's not there's not wholesale changes coming immediately or even with the quarterback, because it's to his team once they sign him to that extension early in training camp ahead of this season. So that part, it is what it is. And Ross himself is a more hands-off owner. He brings the money, but he is the guy who lets the football people take care of the football things.
By the way, an important stuff going on. Marcel Louis Jacques has answered and says, I grabbed 2 at halftime because my fiance asked me to grab her one, but I didn't end up actually eating. I don't usually eat at halftime. I did eat one after the game for a grand total of 1. I will not allow this slander to stand. Answer for your crimes, Big O. And I said to him, well, then I'm no longer impressed with him because I thought he ate 3. I thought he was Superman.
What are we talking?
1?
We're talking about the glizzies, the hot dogs?
Yeah, those hot dogs. Yes.
Yeah. Well, I did.
No way I was eating any of those after my Dairy Queen fiasco.
Oh, okay, yeah. I did eat 2 because I had a hearty breakfast at the hotel.
You ate 2? Wow.
Yeah. Well, so first I had the breakfast before going out to the game, so I didn't have the pregame meal. It was all breakfast food, and I wasn't hungry yet. So I just figured whatever they had at halftime, I was gonna eat that. So. 1 hot dog isn't.
Well, you and Sean both ate 2, right?
Yeah. Real men eat 2 hot dogs.
No, real men eat 3. I thought Marcel was a real man. I saw like a stack of 3. I think he's lying. I think he had all 3. He just doesn't want to admit it.
So yeah. Can I in a media dining room?
Ask Furones whatever you want.
Furones, I got another question. I don't know if you've seen this photo going around on Instagrams. Whose ass is that the Dolphins offense resembles?
Whose ass is that?
You didn't see the play? The Seahawks is grabbing a Dolphin from behind, and it pulled his pants all the way down.
Oh, man. Okay, no. So I've been so locked in. I haven't seen the trending photo.
I know. I saw it, but I didn't see it in the game, so we got mooned. So you were watching the game. You didn't see anybody moon the crowd?
Mooning the crowd?
As
Yeah,
it was being
well,
taken.
Well,
obviously,
by force,
if
right?
they
Yeah.
yank your pants down, you're
Yeah.
mooning the crowd.
Hold on, let me see if I can pull it up real quick.
You know,
So I mean, I'm watching the game on the field, and then I have my tablet rolling with the broadcast. But I'm only looking at the broadcast, and I keep my
For a replay.
headphones in. Yeah, for a replay, it's on a delay anyway, so sometimes it works out timing wise. Like, all right, now I could check what I just maybe missed, or what TV view offered viewers. But I'm also in my laptop a lot, just writing live throughout the game too. So sometimes I do miss things that are on camera.
yeah, no, I'm with you there. I mean, Jesus, it's you got it there. All right, so this is the picture. It's floating, but are you sure that's real? Because nowadays they can like mess with anything practically. There you go. Apparently, we've got, I didn't know a dolphin had an ass. I had no idea that dolphins have asses, but apparently this dolphin has ass.
Oh, here we see it. Okay.
You see it there?
I see a single digit. I see light skin.
So it's Braxton Berrios?
Is it Braxton? It looks like it could be a 0. My goodness. Well, what are we doing here? I really don't want to be looking this closely.
But you're an analyst.
An anal analyst.
You're an analyst right
Let me see-
now.
let me
So
see if
you're breaking it down for us. You know what I'm saying? Okay, this is not this is the portion that's a little PG-13 for you all out there. Okay, but it's good to know he does shave his ass, whoever it is. But there you go. It's probably Braxton. You know what? Shaved ass, Braxton Berrios. Yes, model, all that. Yeah, there you go. There you go. We cracked the case.
It must. I mean, it looks like it looked like single digit, and it was in the shape of a 0. So it was sort of a round number.
Yep.
So
Everything
it seems like it.
Everything's about a hole right there. Yes, you are correct. Go ahead.
So let me see Braxton Berrios, because if we could, he was being tackled by Rayshon Jenkins there, huh?
And also, I'm not saying that wasn't probably might have been Photoshop, but there is the image's logo on it. So usually those are, but I don't know.
I don't know. I didn't see that play. It would have gone like everywhere. I don't know. That to me, that's rigged. That looks.
It is perfect for the Dolphins offense. I mean, for a Dolphins
they
offense,
did play like ass.
I mean, that is.
They did play like a shit.
And McDaniel's play
They actually
calling.
played like a hairy ass, not really a shaved ass.
Yeah.
They played like a hairy one. So that's probably where we're at right now. All right. The interview's completely fallen off the wheels. Go ahead.
I was just gonna bring this. So I mean, I'm trying to delve deeper into it. It was Rayshon Jenkins tackling him.
Delve deeper. Okay.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Braxton Berrios did not have an offensive touch in this game. Receiving, he was targeted once, didn't have a catch. Didn't end up with any rush. So is Rayshon Jenkins making special teams tackles too? I'm not sure. Maybe we can find that because I saw he was the one making the tackle.
What'd you say?
That I saw.
Might have a catch, David.
Durham Smythe? No.
No,
Well, that's not Durham Smythe, bro. It's a smaller person.
It's 80 something.
The number?
Yeah.
Oh,
it
really?
It could be 2 digits.
It is 2 digits. If you look to the top right above the ass, there's a blue marking, which would be another digit.
All right, you guys.
Smythe had 1 catch for 3 yards. Was he tackled by Rayshon Jenkins on that play?
I don't know.
Let's see if we can find that out.
Inquiring asses want to know.
Yeah.
It gets no better than this. This is expert analyst.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
yes, analyst.
The play-by-play says his 3-yard catch. Jenkins was one of 2 people credited with an assisted tackle. Now that picture seemed to show it was just him, but maybe someone else was in there, made some contact with him.
Well, somebody joined in. It became a little bit of a threesome.
Oh no! Oh, where are we going?
I'm sorry.
We're really off the rails.
We're really off the rails here. I mean, really, it's just the things that go on in Washington just don't happen anywhere else. What is going on here in the field in Seattle? Jesus.
Somebody's saying Julian Hill is having a problem with his pants the whole game.
All right. Okay, that makes sense. All right.
He is light skinned. Is he like that?
Well, he was holding You know, he needed to hold his pants. He was holding somebody else, whatever. So, you know, yeah, I get it. Maybe that's why he couldn't play well. He was just concentrating on holding his pants up. Yeah. So we can't afford even good uniforms anymore? Are we like FIU now or something?
Yeah, Julian Hill did have 2 catches.
There you go.
There
you go.
It'll be tough to find if Jenkins was on the tackle on 1, but it would make sense too.
Do we call him Butt Hill now? Do we call him Butt Hill now? Julian Butt Hill. Huh? All right. So what do you got going on the Sentinel so folks can check you out, brother?
Man, all right. Wrapping up game coverage here with the injury updates as well, because we did have Kendall Fuller and Teron Armstead go into concussion protocol now. Obviously, Skylar Thompson exits and David Long had a hamstring injury. So wrapping that up, detailing Tua was on the sideline today after traveling, but yeah, we're going to get into all the reaction coming up now as we turn the page, travel back home, and turn the page to a Monday night game against Tennessee.
Yeah,
Mercury Morris too. I wrote about Mercury Morris.
Yeah, the last time Will Levis played well, he can't wait to actually play the Dolphins because he might be able to play well again.
Yeah, well, it's not Vic Fangio's defense he's going up against this time, so maybe different results with Anthony Weaver. But yeah, and also Mercury Morris. I actually started my day here on the West Coast, waking up to that news and writing about him. Yeah, very sad. A legend, of course, and just one of the greater personalities.
And a trip of a dude, bro.
Yeah, even better person.
A couple times, and I had him on the show several times over the years, and he was just an awesome person to just deal with. You know, he was easygoing and funny as hell, dude. Funny.
A ringleader for the 72 Dolphins, and hyping up that achievement years later. Every year, whenever that last team goes down, he's going to be there to remind you. The Dolphins are the one member of the population in Perfectville.
Yeah, the character. No doubt about that. All right, follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Make sure you subscribe to the South Florida Sun Sentinel and call our friends at Welt Rheaume 954-966-4646. Bankruptcy. I know a lot of Americans, unfortunately, are dealing with really tough financial issues. It can happen to any of us. Easily happen to me. It could easily happen to any of you out there. Call them 954-966-4646. They've got a complete staff that can get you out of those issues. Criminal defense, condo damage, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury, property damage. Please call Welt Rheaume. Jeff Welt and Daniel Rheaume. The consultation is free. 954-966-4646. David, safe travels, my brother. We'll catch up later on in the week.
Sounds good,
You got it.
Out here.
There you go. Good to see you. That is David Furones and our Welt Rheaume Miami Dolphins.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.